You're with Clement Manyathela.
702.
So here we are once again, like we do it every single year. We are facing a situation where, as we see the first day of the 2026 academic calendar, we see some Gauteng pupils still not having placement. And there are some pupils that will have to be temporarily placed in schools because the education department is still battling capacity issues. So we're going to be speaking in a moment to the MEC of Education in Gauteng, Matome Chiloane. But I want to hear from you as a parent, as a guardian. Have you been struggling to find schools, but you followed the process? Because we must also be fair, right? We can't fail to do what is our responsibility as parents. We didn't go on the online system, we didn't do the application, and we want to cry foul when kids have not been placed. So if you're one of the 3,000 or so grade 1 and 8 pupils, parents or guardians who remain without placements in these high pressure areas, I'd like you to give us a call on 011-883-0702 to share your experience with us and just share what challenges you're facing so that I'm able to put that to the MEC of Education, Matome Chiloane, with whom I will speak to in a moment. You can send your WhatsApps as well on 072-702-1702. And for some parents who know how to get the system right, maybe you've done this several times and you probably have got some tips to share with other parents who will find themselves in this situation where they have to go for these online applications next year. Maybe just share some tips with how you have done it. How has it become seamless for you? Because there are parents, right, who have found the system to be seamless. Let's start with Kgomotso Modise, who's our EWN reporter, because he has been watching and keeping a close eye on this. She is at the Morningside District Office now. Kgomotso, thank you so much for making time for us. Good morning.
Good morning, Clement. Thank you for having me.
So here we are once again, as usual, as the start of the academic year. We are seeing some Gauteng pupils that are still not placed. And the number is now at about 3,000 or so.
Yes, that's right. The number being confirmed to be 3,000 yesterday. And I do believe that there may be an update on those numbers, as I've been seeing parents walk in and out of the Morningside District Center. But as it correctly states, Clement, it's an annual problem. It's almost become a tradition of some sort that every year there will be grade 1 and 8 parents and pupils who just aren't placed and can't find places around the province. And the issue really is in those high pressure areas. Now, I spoke to the MEC, Matome Chiloane, who says that they are going to be temporarily placing some of the pupils. This is after the next 10 days when they realize that, they cannot find permanent placement for some of the pupils. But I just want to let you in, Clement, on what's been happening with the parents that are here. Many of the parents here saying they've been here before. One parent saying they've come, this is their 5th time this morning, and they've been sent to from pillar to post. One such parent is Abuti Leshoko, who joins me now in the queue. Leshoko, just clarify for me, when exactly did you apply for a position for your child?
When the registration first opened, that's when I put in my application.
And this was in September?
This was in September, yes.
And what did the system say when you tried to apply?
Filling the application was easy, but I'm still waiting for allocation. I haven't been allocated. My child has not been allocated school as yet. And there's 2 pending applications saying application is pending, is being processed.
Clement, I have had to let him go as he's reached the front of the queue and he's walking in through the gates. But his sentiments have been echoed by many here, that they applied all the way in September, they didn't get any help, they tried again in December, and now they're at the district offices hoping that they will be granted placement in one of the schools.
Sure. So, if for the parents whose children have not been placed, they have to be at the district office to try and see if the pupils can be temporarily placed.
Yes, so what it seemed to me, Clement, is that the system online, many of the parents that are here feel that the system online is not working. So one parent that I spoke to earlier says that the system said to him that he had been awarded a placement, and he thought that the child, had a school to go to. And then on Monday, when he went, to kind of acquaint himself with the school and find out what the dynamics are, he was told that the child is not on the list. So then they were referred to the district offices because now there seems to be an administrative glitch of some sort. What I heard the MEC saying yesterday, Clement, is that they're going to be using the next 10 days to see where they can place the pupils without placement. And then once they've established that there are still pupils who need places and haven't been placed, then they will be granted temporary placement in some schools around the province while they work on schools, set up schools, mobile schools, it seems, for them to be finally placed in for the rest of the year.
Sure, yeah. I can only imagine how frustrating this must be for the parents, some of whom are supposed to be back at work, but now they have to go and queue up at this Morningside district office or other offices to try and sort out the placement of their kids. We're still trying to get a hold of the MEC of Education, who agreed to speak to us this morning. He hasn't answered just yet, so we'll keep pushing. But in the meantime, let me hear what some of your experiences has been. Jabulani, let's start with you. You're calling from Tembisa. Good morning.
How are you, sir?
I'm all right, man. Go ahead.
I've been listening to your show since day one, but I've never had a luck to get in. I'm privileged today to be there.
Oh, thanks for calling, brother.
Thank you, man. Okay, here is my take. I think the reason why there is this 3,000 backlog is us as parents. I have applied. I've been applying. I think this year, last year, I've applied for 2 kids, just helping other parents, guiding them throughout, I was also applying for my brother's son for grade 8, got the space. Royal got the space for grade 1. A lot of people that have been assisting. So the thing is, when you apply on that first time when they open, and then you wait for a certain date whereby they send the offers to the parents through SMS. So what happens is, as parents, we forget the login details. I don't know whether we fail to retrieve the password or something. But for me, I've never had an issue, even with Royal. The parent used a wrong cell phone number, that it doesn't have the SIM card anymore. But immediately when I got the SMSs, I told him to go online and then accept the offer. Because on those 3 schools that you put there when you apply, they will send you the first offer that you chose them. That, okay, I want my daughter to go to Peter's One, and you select that. When you open, it will tell you that here is an offer from Peter's One. You accept that offer. Once you've accepted, you send the documents that are required, and then you are done. It's useless. For me, I feel like it is us as parents that are failing the department, not the other way around. So the parents that are struggling are the ones that never got the offers, or probably they got the offers but they didn't see the SMSs. If we can go and investigate thoroughly, chances to find that the parents didn't accept the offers when they were sent to them.
Yeah. So the system, is it easy to use, Jabulani? Because I can imagine, I mean, there's some kids who are being raised by their grandparents. So when that SMS goes to them, like, do they know how to navigate that?
So when you get the SMS tells you to go back and log on. As soon as even on Google, when you type DGE, it opens automatically. It goes to the admission, and then it wants you to sign in or log in. So you sign in. Even when you sign in, it has a link of, if you have forgotten your password, you can retrieve the forgotten password. So it's just a password and your ID number. It doesn't even need a user number or user ID. It just uses your ID number as a parent.
Ah, I see. Jabulani?
Yes.
Yeah, in Tembisa, thank you so much for your call. Tabiso, you are in Sharpeville. Good morning.
Good morning, Clement. How are you?
I'm all right, Tabiso. Go ahead. Please switch off the radio there in the background.
Let me just do that. My apologies.
All right. In the meantime, let's go to some WhatsApp voice notes. 072-702-1702.
Good morning, Clement. Regarding this thing of grade 1s and grade 8 in Gauteng, why can't this be cancelled? It will be first come, first serve. Let's go back to the old ways. Because this is very, 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 very stressful. Is there a reason why we should keep this? Thank you. Please ask the MEC. Thank you very much.
Look, of course, the MEC will argue that the system is much easier and probably more convenient. And I mean, I remember in the beginning when this started, I thought, okay, I mean, these are gremlins. This is a new system that's being introduced. So of course there are going to be issues. I mean, but this is what year are we on now? What year are we on now since this system was established? It's been a couple of years now. So I mean, at some point it needs to get better. We can't be dealing with the same issues over and over again.
Hi, Clement. Could you please ask the MEC there, why are we still having loads of Africans schools around Montana? I think there are plus minus 5 to 6 African schools. But English medium schools are like maybe, I know around Montana is only 2 or 3. But when you look around Vonnerbom, Montana, Rietfontein, there are loads of African schools. And there are probably few in class. But the English medium schools, there are around 42 in class. Why do we still have that in 2025 when the majority of the population is predominantly black?
Yeah, look, I'll ask the MEC that. I'll ask the MEC that question. Thabiso, you in Sharpeville, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, Clement, how's it?
Sharp, how's it?
Sure, boss. Clement, my man, my view is, we battling, I'm battling. My view is this system is not working, my brother. This system, it's not working. And it's January, we started when they open this whole online thing. But majority of us, we still pending. And when you go to the department, Clement, these people, they don't know what they're doing. I'm telling you. These people, they don't have a clue of what they're doing. We keep on getting the same response. And let me tell you something. These officials from the department are getting paid. There's a lot of corruption happening here to place certain kids of their friends, people that they know.
But how? Because isn't this happening through this online system?
Nah, it's not, my brother. Let me tell you, these people, they know how to manipulate. They will send you to a school and you'll get admitted. They will send you to a school and say, go to a particular school, you go there. I end up doing it manually. I went to the school. It didn't happen online. I applied online. All the schools that I applied for got rejected. I personally went to a school where an official told me go there, and I was connected by someone.
Jeez.
Talked to someone, and I went to that school.
Did you pay any money, Thabiso?
I didn't change money. But I know people that exchange money. I refuse.
Okay. All right. Jeez, Thabiso, in Sharpeville, thank you for sharing that with us. Matome Chiloane is the MEC of Gauteng, of education here in Gauteng, joins us on the line. MEC, thank you so much for making time for us. Good morning.
Good morning to your listeners.
Yeah. So, I mean, we've been dealing with this since 2015, this online system, MEC. Is it getting better? Because it almost feels like every single year, parents are complaining about the same thing.
Look, the issue is not the system, it's the capacity of schools to absorb the number of learners. We have a growing system. If we had enough schools, there will not be an issue system. So the system on its own is not necessarily the problem. It's because of schools and preferred schools by parents in some instances. Mm-hmm. That's where we have the biggest challenge. And they say they didn't get the schools they would have applied for. And we've been demonstrating that you find that the school, for example, Edenville High, it's got capacity for 250 grade 8s, and then you have 2,000 applications.
Yeah.
You understand? So these are some of the challenges that we've been experiencing, and this is what parents have been experiencing, and this is why there are also complaints around.
Yeah, so if capacity is the issue, what have you done as government to try and build up capacity?
Remember, the spaces, because of movement, population movement, informed by economic opportunities, you find that parents may, for example, the far in the west, in the first area, they're becoming emptier.
Okay. Let me see. The line is not good. Let me put you back to the producers. Let's try and work out on that line. Maybe he can move around a little bit because the line is breaking, and I really want you to hear what the MEC has got to say. So if capacity is the issue, I'm also trying to understand what have we done? What has government done to try and build more capacity? Are we building new schools? I know that there are some new schools that are expected to be completed soon, and that's going to come in handy, at least with trying to absorb this 3,000 odd pupils that have still not been placed. Linda on the WhatsApp line says, Clement, my brother started grade 11 today. We went through the same anxiety when he was to start grade 8. How is it that so many years later parents still face the same distress? What needs to happen for the department to let go of this system that has proven to not be efficient? And of course, the efficiency of the system is also going to be affected by, as the MEC was trying to explain there, more and more people are coming into the province, the population is increasing, and the government now has to deal with just ensuring that there's enough capacity that meets the population that comes into the province. MEC, I'm told we've got you on a better line now. You were still explaining how you've been building up capacity.
Yes, and that's why I say that it's not necessarily the system itself, it's the capacity, the number of schools or spaces. So this is where we're having challenge. That's why now we're sitting with this 2,500 odd number of learners that have not placed. And those learners are based in one area, for instance, it's Tembisa, Ivory Park, and Midrand. So meaning those areas are growing fast in terms of parents, people are moving in those areas and bringing their children. But not enough schools are coming up in the area. So that is where the challenge is in the main with this admission process.
So what's the plan with this 2,500 odd pupils that haven't been placed? What's going to happen to them?
We're placing them in temporary spaces because we're building new schools for them. We're creating new schools closer to them so that we can place them. So those new schools will be up within latest end of February. But it does not mean when we place them in temporary schools, they are not going to be taught. They will be taught in those particular schools. But remember, you can't say you are putting learners in a hall and say that is a space. So we have to build them schools. They need classrooms, as an example. So this is what we're doing. We're putting them in schools. In some instances, we're putting them, for example, they might be in grade 8, but we're housing them temporarily in a primary school up until we get the school up and running. So this is an engagement that is taking place between ourselves and parents. And those parents, rather.
And those parents don't have much say as to where you place temporarily their kids. It could be out of the area.
No, it can't be necessarily out of the area. We are engaging those parents. Before we place, of course, we speak to the parents. We have engagement. The district officials have been having a lot of engagement with parents to explain to them the situation and the solution to the problem. But what I can assure you, these new schools are becoming more popular. For example, in Kempton Park, if you recall, 2-3 years back, when we opened that new school, parents were up in arms saying we don't want it. But I can tell you now, today it's also full because the applications are high and parents are actually seeing that it's actually a school. It's just that it's a new school. So we're building new schools. But obviously we're going to start with temporary structures of mobiles, but being earmarked for brick and mortar over a period of time.
Okay, so let me put some issues to you that were raised by some listeners as we were waiting for you. The issue of corruption. Are you aware of corruption that exists within the system where there are some schools and some staff members there who tell parents, come to the school because, we'll find a way to facilitate, you being accepted, your kids being accepted here?
The best way, for such, I've heard that there is those elements of corruption, but what I've appealed to those parents who are experiencing that, to bring me the information. Importantly, the school. You don't even have to tell me the names of officials who are actually, I will find them. and consequence management will take place. So, because there shouldn't be any corruption, but the system can trace corruption itself. Because when you bypass it, and then there's an appeal, we are able to trace that this letter was number 400. How did the letter move from number 400 to number 200? Mm-hmm. You understand? Yes, we are able to pick up that movement because the system gives us its raw data the way it is, being informed by the categories that were placed, the home address, etc. So we are able to pick up if there's a shift or a change in between.
Okay. Another listener wanted to know, why are there so many African schools around Montana in Pretoria? Is that something you're aware of? And if so, is it of concern? Because this listener seemed to suggest it is.
All schools, generally, those schools were converted into dual medium. That is why we insisted the Bella is important. When we spoke about the Bella, parents, some didn't understand why we need. These are some of the issues that Bella is addressing. That now we are able to intervene and say, this area, you might be historically a Zulu school alone, but the area now is got a number of Spanish-speaking people there. So therefore, there's a need to introduce gradually Sepedi in the school, whether we bring it through grade 8 and obviously over a period of time up to grade 12. But those details were able to intervene directly from the level of HOD and MEC to ensure that schools become dual as opposed to just being single medium. So this is what the Bella has given us powers to. And to that listener, these are the things that we'll be addressing through the powers, that legislative powers that have been given through the Act.
Okay. So when are you expecting all the placements to be done?
We have given ourselves the first 10 days. Remember, the system has the first 10 days where after 10 days we are able to correlate the full data of how many learners we have, how many educators we need, what are the challenges, etc. So within the first 10 days from today, the first 10 academic days, we should be done with at least putting them in spaces of learning. From there, in terms of moving them into their new school, we're engaging those parents. Some schools are going to be up because there's 7 new schools that we're actually busy with. Some will be ready by end of January, but the latest will be end of February. Those 7 new schools.
All right. Matome Chiloane, Gauteng Education MEC, thanks for making time for us. It's 10:32.